What happens when three accountants walk into a bar?
Understand what's on your balance sheet. One, what's on your balance sheet.
I was about to be like, what's a balance sheet?
So the balance sheet is going to tell you what your assets are, what your liabilities are, and what is your net worth.
They always say you have to take the money, get the money, apply for the money, etc. when you don't need it. So cash flow is a huge thing.
And so it's not just about having in accounting software a professional. You have to have the team.
As an accountant, do you see, or as a CPA, this is a great question for you. Do you know there's like different stages in lives of business, right? So you're like in the startup, like I want to start a business, right? And then that's like, you might just need the accounting software and then you're going to take that to the CPA at the end. And then you go through the like, okay, this is a real business. I want to grow the business. Now I want to scale the business. Now I want to sell the business, right? Talk a little bit about, or maybe if you even have a story from like a client who we will not mention, maybe they're like at this point where they were like, they wanted to sell their business, but like, what does it take if we could just erase all the mistakes that every business owner has made along the way, right? And it was like a perfect world. What does that look like from like, I want to start? Sometimes you want to start and you don't know if it's like a real business or if you could really sell it or scale it. And you're like, oh crap, I'm onto something good, right?
Yeah.
But like in a perfect world, what are all the steps that maybe an entrepreneur could take to help like offset some of the pain and selling or
Yeah, I think you do definitely still need to make sure you have a business plan in place, right? You want to make sure that you have good financials. I think that's one of the things when people start their business and then they want to sell and then the investor is asking for financial statements, they don't have a clean and good financial, right?
Okay, wait, stop right there. What is clean and good financial? Because again, 98% of people who start businesses have no financial background. What does that mean?
Understand what's on your balance sheet. One, what's on your balance sheet.
I was about to be like, what's a balance sheet?
So the balance sheet is going to tell you what your assets are, what your liabilities are, and what is your net worth. So you definitely want to understand what's on your balance sheet and then understand how your revenue has grown or developed from year to year. And then what is the plan for selling? I think still you need an advisor to help you with that selling strategy as well, right?
Sure.
Because there are certain things that you want to know and you want to understand before you get to that point and start talking and start negotiating. Make sure you get the right price for your business. So you want to make sure you have someone that can help you value what your business truly is and then go from there.
You're definitely, as a CPA and as like the financial, like the CFO, you're definitely part of like an integral part of a team, right? What are some of the other teammates maybe you would suggest or that you also need in growing a sustainable business?
Yeah, it really depends because like you said, there's this whole life cycle of what a business looks like. And so you have that day one that, oh my gosh, I'm excited. I have my own business today. So first and foremost, I think the attorney has to be involved first. You also have to have just honestly some informal mentors, people that you can bounce ideas off of and just say, hey, is this a good idea or is that not? And along with that, you have to have a network. You have to know who are you trying to sell your business to or your product or your service or whatever you have. So it's, that's still your network is maybe not directly advising you on your business, but they're absolutely the integral part of, I can't just go out tomorrow and say, have a roller skating rink. I mean, maybe my daughter's friends would really enjoy that or something, right? But like, I have no idea what the market is for that. And so you need to have the network. Absolutely, you need to have an accountant and or CPA. There's lots of different levels of services that are going to be in our field from different types of people. And you need to have those in place to be able to support you and guide you.
Yeah, I love that.
I would also add, especially depending on the type of business that you have, you need an insurance person.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, I'm so glad you said that.
You need to be able to protect yourself. So an insurance person, and then as well, maybe an investment advisor, right? For, those businesses that are growing like very large and, big. You want to have an investment advisor there as well, which is really different from a CPA. Everything is we're not equally, yoked. Everybody has their own specialty. So
okay, so I'm going to play business owner client. Ready?
Okay.
But it's so expensive. I can't afford it.
You can't afford not to have it.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. Okay, but I can only pick one. Who do I pick? Right? Like these, I feel like this is like some of the things that they say, right? Like, so yeah, I get it. We need all of that, but like, how?
If you don't do it right now, it's going to cost you a lot more in the long run. So you're better off spending the money. You need to figure it out. But there are definitely some non-negotiables when you're getting started. And so you have to make it work. You have to figure out the solution.
Thanks, ladies.
Thanks.
Shop Talk by No. Financial.
It's been fun.